6 minutes after 9 o'clock, Stanley Spencer singing the opening theme song for Carol Ann Baldwin, In the Garden with Carol Ann. That's the name of the song and the name of the show. And your connection to Carol Ann right now is the phone number, which is 622-9622. Good morning, Carol Ann. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. Real good.
You got some gifts to give away today.
I do. We've got some Preen products.
Preen. That's a brand name, obviously.
It's a brand name of a pre-emergent herbicide.
And you got three things.
I got three different ones here.
Weed preventer.
They're weed preventer with a battery-powered applicator lid. The Preen Southern Weed Preventer plus plant food, so it does your weed control plus a little bit of fertilization.
So it's picky. It right. Kills some plants and feeds the others.
Feeds the others. That's right. It doesn't actually kill any plants. Stops them from growing.
Okay,
we'll talk about it. Okay. And then the other one is the organic for vegetable gardens weed preventer. And all three of them are pretty interesting products. And these are full size, same size as the bottle that you would buy in the market. So you'll get the opportunity to really try them out.
And they're here because you're giving them away today?
They're here because I'm giving them away. We're going to give away some I don't know if we can give away all three today. I've got a couple of supply of them sitting at my house. Right. So I brought the three of them now. So I don't know if we'll at least give away one today.
So somewhere in the course of you'll make a decision on how these are going.
On how many of these are going. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out and how. Right. Like I said, only one of them is organic and for vegetable gardens.
Okay.
The other two are for flower beds and and such like that. Neither of these are for lawns.
Oh, they're not for lawns.
Though they do make a lawn product that is, I know I haven't looked at all the big box stores. I know it's available in one Lowe's store.
So I'm confused.
Yeah.
You said one is for vegetable gardens.
Right.
One is for flower gardens.
These are these two.
And everything else, but lawns is not.
But lawns is not one of those.
What else is there?
Just your flowers and shrub beds, mulched areas, things like that, where you're going to try to prevent around your hedgerows and things like that. These are a little bit. These are not going to kill weeds on contact, not like your weed and grass killers where you go through them and spray everything, it all dies. But then its cousin comes up. What you would do would be to go through and pull and spray however you like to remove all the weeds. Then you apply this product, and it prevents the weeds from coming up. It prevents the root formation. Once that seed tries to germinate, it prevents it from continuing on. The organic one happens to be done through corn gluten. I believe corn gluten's the only organic applied pre-emergent herbicide. A lot of people, will use vinegar as a post-emergent, which means it's already up and growing.
Okay.
But it's not a pre-emergent. And the corn gluten type products, they're going to last from about 4 to 6 weeks. It'll depend on the temperature. But again, it's a weed preventer. Your plants need to be up and growing before you put it down. So don't put it down.
Otherwise,
and then plant your bean seeds because you will stop them from growing.
And does that become not activated a year from now when you want to do it again?
Right. After about the organic one, 4 to 6 weeks, it's pretty well broke down. Okay. The other ones last about 4 months, though. I was just reading, just those are all just really good questions. Where did I just see it? Because I didn't underline it. They control for about 4 months, and it's not going to stop every single weed. Okay. But they do. Here's a little bit of it. The active ingredient is 27% of the product. The rest of it, the rest of the 0.27%. So about 1/4% of the product is the actual chemical on the chemical version of it. The rest of it is small granules, your carrying agent, which is made up of corn cob and recycled paper. So once it's activated by watering in, the preen, the ingredient bonds with soil particles and mulch to create an invisible weed barrier. The barrier stops weeds from sprouting by inhibiting cell replication in the root hairs. The Preen Southern remains effective for up to 4 months, does not persist in the soil, will not leach into the groundwater, and Preen's active ingredient breaks down and biodegrades within 6 months to a year. And the little corncob paper granules will also break down.
Okay.
So the full amount, it's just, it becomes less and less effective as, of course, as time and temperature and moisture and things like that go through. But it does not have an extended life in the soil. Its active time is approximately 4 months, anywhere from 2 to 8 months after that. It's really broke down and gone.
Okay.
Eliminated.
So I have a question, another question from the label. It says Preen Southern.
Right.
Does that mean it's designed to only work in the South for some reason?
It's to work on the weeds in southern gardens. Our weeds are a little bit different.
They're different, huh?
Some of ours are different than, or we have some weeds that they don't have in northern states, or that they'll sprout at a different temperature. Part of it is also the temperature sensitivities. You figure our soil warms up a little faster. They're saying anytime that your top layer of soil is about 55 degrees, it's going to be the right time to put it down. And for us, we're really coming into that, minus the cold front we've got coming in apparently today, and the other one that's supposed to be coming in next week. March, we should be beginning to warm up starting about the middle of March. And you're probably not going to say that about too many other states.
That's true.
And then, with our rainfalls and things like that, it is set up. And I know I happen to be one of those people who says Florida's not a southern state.
What?
That most of this time when you see where we are a unique place in its own, just based upon our rainfall, our temperatures, our humidity.
Southern
States are generally, and because I usually say, don't take that as, it's perfect for Florida just because it says southern. Georgia, Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, those states are also all southern states. Their climates are not like Florida.
It's true.
So, the 4 months, I have used the regular Preen in landscapes. It does work. It's not going to stop all the weeds. Nothing's going to.
But you noticed really a lot less, fewer, whatever.
Made it much easier, especially if you like to go places. If you don't want to spend, one of the best therapies to me is to actually get out there and pull the weeds. But it would also be nice to go, I got them all pulled. I'm sitting back. I got my glass of iced tea in hand. And I'll throw some of this down and go, I don't have to come back and dig them all up in another few weeks. Right. At least it'll get you some time to enjoy the rest of your
So the way you do this, you pull the weeds and then you put this down?
Pull up all your weeds, get your beds, get everything ready, get everything planted or freshened up your mulch and things like that. Put that down, water it out a little bit, and you're ready to go.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see how you give it away. Are they heavy? They look heavy.
They range anywhere from 4 3/4 pounds to 5.4 for about 5.5 pounds.
And the phone lines are open if you want to call Carolyn. There is somebody on right now, but I wanted to give the number just real quickly. The number is 622-9622. If you're out of the area code is 352. So 352-622-9622. Good morning. You're on the air with Carolyn.
Oh, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I have a question about the Bonnie tomato plants.
Okay.
When do those come into the box stores?
They're coming in now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they're most of the ones that are coming in now are going to be in the bigger pots. I think the little ones, when you find like the 4-packs, 6-packs, 9-packs, things like that, are going to be, and I would even wait to get them unless you were going to put them into a larger pot and hold them yourself. It's a little early to try to put them in the ground, but they would probably be coming in those smaller sizes probably in another couple weeks.
Okay, then maybe wait till like the first week in April.
March.
To plant them outside, or
no, you would plant them in March, about the
end of March.
About the middle to the end of March. Yeah, you want them in the ground usually before the first part of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yep.
All righty, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Carolyn, we have to take a little break for the weather. And you know what I should do? We have some tickets to the Daytona 500.
Oh, cool.
So it's called Daytona 500. This coming Sunday and this coming Thursday, 2 days from now, we'll pick one name from the drawing box sitting on the table over there. And that one person will win 2 tickets. These tickets are worth $170 a piece. So this is a $340 prize. Now, you do not get the prize today. You get your name in the box today. And one person will have his or her name picked on Thursday, and that's the lucky person. So during the break, no trivia question to ask. Just simply call. If you get in during the break, then you'll be in the box.
Get your name in the box.
Exactly. So the number is 622-9622. We'll take that break right now and be away for about, looks like 3 minutes. And during that time, if you want to call in and ask me to put your name in the box, you are okay with doing that. You cannot have your name in the box more than once. So everybody has got an equal chance.
There you go.
If you are already in the box, just sit back and wait till Thursday. See if we pick your name around noontime. We'll take that break and be right back with Carol Ann.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Clouds will limit sunshine today. It'll be breezy and warm with some showers and a thunderstorm around mainly this afternoon. The highs in the 70s. Periods of rain and a thunderstorm tonight. Lows dropping to the lower 40s in the northernmost part of the zone to 55 in the southernmost part. Tomorrow, clouds giving way to sunshine, breezy and much cooler, the high 59 to 63. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Guy Harvey Checking is now exclusively available at Gateway Bank. With Guy Harvey Checking, you will receive Gateway's premium checking account plus several other Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation features, including membership to the Guy Harvey Hammerhead Nation, free Guy Harvey t-shirt, and an exclusive Guy Harvey debit card. At Gateway Bank, we will make a $50 donation to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation for every new account open. This is just one more reason why people choose Gateway Bank. Sign up today for your exclusive Guy Harvey checking account with Gateway. Details available at gatewaybankcfl.com, member FDIC.
Hi, Danny Werfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
All right, 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, we managed to get 3 names in the box during that break, which is awesome. We'll be doing that some more, but we're only doing that. We started it last Thursday or last Wednesday, so only a week. It's a 1 week long promotion, so it's a good one. Are you a NASCAR fan?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few races.
You know, they're having a NASCAR party at this nudist club. I can't imagine. Boom, boom, boom.
Interesting. Well, that's
and a Mardi Gras thing, too, which I think defeats the whole bead thing.
Defeats the whole bead thing, yeah.
You're naked already.
Everybody, hey, no, you have to give away the beads, I guess, or something. I don't know. But, no, this is a great... Just to get back to gardening, great gardening time. But no, we'll figure out if you've really got an interest in the preen or something like that, or have more questions. Call about it or whatever. I'm not real sure how to.
How much do they charge? How much does that cost?
Normally, they retail the one with the power lid retails for approximately $18-19. The weed preventer with plant food, I want to say, is about $12.
Okay.
12 or 13. The organic, again, probably $12, $13, $15, something like that.
Is that a whole how do you measure?
This one here is 900 square feet.
Oh,
You've got a little over 1,000, 1,120, and the other's about 250 square feet. But then again, your vegetable gardens are usually a lot smaller than your landscape, etc.
And you put it down all at once?
You put it down. If you've got if you're going to do your bed, if you know how big your flower beds are, for example, you know how far a bottle will go because you know how big the bed is.
True, yeah.
And this isn't something that you have to worry about if you get it up in amongst the stems of your plants. You kind of want it to go there too because you're going to, you'll water it down into the ground and it'll help to prevent those weeds.
Any need to be concerned about your pets or anything?
No. With anything you put down, whether or not it's synthetic, a chemical, an organic, you're always best to put the pet somewhere else until it's applied and allowed to dry or the dust to settle. That's common sense. I mean, I don't let my dog in the kitchen if I'm going to wash the floor. It defeats the purpose of washing the floor.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, so it's, the dog gets to go in the other room or go outside for a while. While I'm outside gardening, they're outside with me until I need to do something, and
but it won't hurt them if they get into the garden.
Okay. Correct. So it's
I'm guessing somebody wanted to know that.
Oh, I'm sure they would, and that's actually a very good question, and it follows again with the reading and following of label instructions. I always like to say, I don't fear chemicals. I do not fear the synthetics. I want people to be a good steward when they use them. And that's what I try to be. I understand people do have concerns with synthetic fertilizers, with synthetic pesticides and things like that. I would rather people have a nice, healthy concern and be a good steward than have an ultimate fear and think that the only way to be a good steward is so that no one uses the items. Kind of way is make sure education is your biggest key on many of these things.
So you said there's another freeze. I know there's a freeze after this rain.
We've got this. Today. Yeah, we got the cold front coming through, and I thought I saw on a long range forecast that we have another one coming, like next Tuesday. So we'll probably get through where this one's ushering in here on Tuesday. The next one would be coming through the following Tuesday, and I don't think I'll hit the right button in order to get far enough. Monday, Tuesday of the 24th, we're still pretty nice, but Wednesday of that next week, we're showing a low of 39. So maybe not quite as cold. And if we're lucky, we'll get a thunderstorm with this one because they are saying the possibility of a little bit of thunder, and if that happens, that could be our third one. That could be our third one, and then we should be ready to. I know I'm ready to start warming up and stay on that trend. And the first person who complains about it being too hot this year is getting a good swift kick. I do that. Yeah.
I complain about the cold, then I complain
about
the heat.
I can take the heat. I can take the heat. A couple of nice things we got coming up to mark your calendars is I picked up the 2015 Gardening at a Glance. These classes are free unless otherwise noted, and I'll always let you know. Is one coming up February the 20th, which is this Friday?
It must be this Friday, yeah.
This coming Friday at the Master the Possibilities Education Center out on top of the world is organic vegetable gardening, just to get into that organic part of it. And then on Saturday the 21st at Fort McCoy Public Library is Your Spring Garden. And apparently later on that same day at the Forest Public Library, you get native and invasive plants. So native and non-native invasive plants. I guess the invasive, they're probably not going to consider native, even though there are some of those natives that, to me, can get a little out of hand. But that's
I've never known any natives to get out of hand.
Oh, they get the natives get restless. But some educational opportunities for you. And if you ever want these lists, if you have an email address, many of us, I don't know the stats nowadays on how many people have an email address, but I'm sure it's probably getting up there to the above 90 percentile.
Sure.
Or if you don't possibly have access that maybe a friend or a neighbor or a family member does. Call over to the extension office, 671-8400, and get on their emailing list, and you will get updates on when things are going on through extension. And of course, the big thing upcoming is the Master Gardener Spring Festival, March the 14th and 15th. And so looking forward to that.
With Mardi Gras, it's like ushers in the springtime. Well, Easter's early this year, so Mardi Gras is early. Everything is
right.
Comes back from Easter.
Because this is Fat Tuesday. Tomorrow's Ash Wednesday, and
do you do the Ash thing?
I don't know.
Catholic? No.
I don't do that. I'm not sure if I'm giving anything up this year.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure. I have until I go to sleep
midnight,
tonight. Yeah, I got until I go to bed tonight to decide.
You have to give up something that's hard to give up.
Well, see, guess what? The biggest one I gave up, and it was 2000 and...
Oh, you never went back to it?
Exactly.
Smoking?
Yep. Best time to quit smoking.
I can't picture you smoking.
Best time to quit smoking is for Lent, because if you really, really want to, you can go back. But after that time, you've quit.
That's true.
But after that length of time, you've quit.
Good logic.
Yeah, and that was what I did. It was a different day of the week. I mean, it was a different...
Do you know what I quit recently? Coffee.
Oh, I never drank coffee, so I don't
have
that problem.
All right, you probably wouldn't have told me, but did you remember seeing like my face was having an issue for a while there? Like it was like I was breaking out.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, what was going on? Sometimes it was worse than others. Anyway, long story short, I went online and tried to figure it out myself.
Okay.
And somebody said it could be the things you eat or drink.
Right.
The only thing I was really a holic about was coffee. I was a coffee holic.
Because you sit here and sip on it all day long. Right.
So I'm doing the green tea now, and it looks a lot better, right? I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah. Actually, I until you brought it up, I guess I wasn't really paying attention, but it does. You're right, though.
It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. I'm 60 years old. I was breaking out like a kid, like a teenager.
So there you go. You watch what you put into your system, and
it's got honey. Put honey in it. It's not bad. And it's orange blossom honey from around here.
Right, local honey. It'll take care of the allergies as well. So.
Oh, they say it's good stuff. Who knows?
Yep, and drinking plenty of water. That's all you. Water. Stay hydrated. I believe.
But I already gave it up, so I have to figure something else out for Lent if I'm going to do this at all.
That's true. So I don't know what else anybody else has given up. I hope to get into more of my gardening, here during the spring season, but I stay pretty busy. So it's hit and miss sometimes.
So we're almost at the bottom of the hour. Any idea on how you're going to give those away?
How I'm going to give those away? Why don't we just have at this one?
All three going to one winner?
No.
Okay.
No, actually, if we have more than one person who's interested, on these first 3 ones, we'll give them away to 3 people, so long as not everybody wants the organic one.
So you first come, first serve? The organic one,
it would be first come, first serve.
Do you have a trivia question? Do you want me to
I don't.
Dig one up? Or?
I said I wasn't real sure how I was going to give them away when I asked for them. When it was presented, do you want some of these? I said,
Are we waiting to the end of the show?
No, why don't we, if we get some people interested here during the half hour, we can go ahead and grab some names if somebody wants to call.
Right now?
Sure.
So if you want one of these bottles.
One of these bottles of Preen. Give us a shout.
And so we'll just put
some names
to Caroline.
on.
I hope they can hear you. Otherwise, you might have to come over here.
Okay.
Because this microphone might be working on the phone. There's something up with those.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to claim one of these bottles, I have them on the camera. Let me see if I can put them on there if you're looking. But they're nice yellow big bottles. We'll be right back. Yep. Call if you want the bottles.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Much of the South digging out from a major storm, up to a foot of snow in Kentucky and Tennessee, thousands without power, hundreds of flights canceled, and many delays. Brett Cagle of Charlotte, North Carolina's Douglas International.
As of this morning, we had de-iced 135 aircraft with an average wait time of about 28 minutes.
4 inches of snow in Washington, D.C., shutting down government offices and schools. A federal judge has blocked for now the president's immigration plan, siding with 24 states that want to stop it completely.
It expands a program protecting young immigrants from deportation if they were brought to the U.S. illegally as children. Congressional Republicans vow to undo the president's immigration reform policies, but the White House says executive action is constitutional.
Fox Radio's Steve Rappaport, the White House will appeal. Russian-backed rebels say they've taken over a key rail hub in eastern Ukraine 2 days after a supposed ceasefire. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
When you sit in your comfortable ergonomic chair, do you experience inner peace? Are you known for admiring desks like profound works of art? If so, you might be gear-centric, someone who knows that the right office gear helps you do great things. And at Office Depot and Office Max, we have the quality gear you need. Visit our President's Day furniture sale and save 40% on select desks, chairs, bookcases, and more. Office Depot and Office Max. Gear up for great. Offer ends 2/21.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is the place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs.
Proud sponsor of College of Central Florida basketball on WOCA The Source.
Join us on Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex. The goal of this festival is not only to provide a great time for families in Ocala, but to also raise funds to build a home for our family in our community and support Habitat for Humanity's mission to strengthen communities, build hope, and provide dignified housing solutions. Remember, Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex, which starts at 7 a.m. with breakfast.
All right, 26 minutes before 10 o'clock. Carol Baldwin is here. Your questions, I should say, are welcome and invited. Go ahead and call right now, 622-9622. If you have a question about your garden, maybe about the cold weather that's coming tonight, tomorrow night, etc. Although we're just about out of the cold.
Let's hope.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
And we only gave away one. There was a few other calls, but nobody stayed on the line. So
right.
We still do. We'll give away some more at the next break, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I don't give them all away today, we got them.
And just explain what it is, because I don't think
Preen is I have some bottles of the Preen, Preen, it's a pre-emergent herbicide. Pre-emergent means it's not going to kill the existing weeds. What it does is it prevents weed seed from becoming an actively growing plant. So you don't want to put it in if you're going to scatter flower seeds, but if you have existing plants and shrubberies in your landscape, you can put it down after you have taken the weeds out to prevent the weeds. They don't prevent every weed because some will get past it or you'll get kicking through. The dog will get out there and mess it up and you won't notice it. Maybe you'll start to get some weeds. But it does help to keep the weeds at bay.
Oh, it has to stay in place.
It needs to stay in place.
Oh,
sure.
okay.
It's in areas that you're not going to disturb.
What is it? I mean, what is it?
It's a chemical. I mean, I could try to.
It's not like salt or something.
No. I could try to pronounce it, but I don't know if I'd be very good at it. Dithrapor, I believe it might be how you pronounce it. Dithrapor. Possibly,
like
but that's
Star
it's a pre-emergent herbicide, and the two that are left are not for vegetable gardens. They would be for flower beds, walkways, things like that, mulched areas. But one thing I did want to get to, because it's the middle of February. We just had Valentine's Day. Hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Did you?
And yes, I did. And then now it's Fat Tuesday, coming into Mardi Gras and the beginning of Lent. But if you did not get your roses pruned and things like that, fear not, it's not too late. It is a good time, though, to think of getting those cut back, cleaned out. Roses love cow manure, so pick a bag of black cow. They really do.
Don't you have a new sponsor?
Well,
not yet.
They haven't come back on board, but I still love the black cow products, so I don't mind mentioning them.
I thought you told me you did have one.
They're working on coming back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're working on coming back. That, if you clean out, if you've had the mulch, it's a good time, cut out any dead canes, especially if any of the classic tea roses, things like that, the floribundas. If you've got dead canes, cut those out. Any other real tall ones, you might want to bring them back. Remembering that roses are unique, that when they grow during the growing season, anytime they put out a new branch or new piece of wood, it is half the diameter of what it was growing from. So if you had something the size of a nice fat marker out of the bottom, the next piece up is going to be the size of a smaller marker, and then you're going to half the size of a pencil and thinner as it grows. So during this time in springtime, we cut back to some nice sturdy, strong wood. You can tell which way it's going to grow by cutting on which side of that growth bud there is. You can see them. Pretty easy. Cut at a nice angle. Clean your pruners between cuts, or at least between shrubs. You don't necessarily have to dip them every time you make a cut, but after you finish one bush, before you go to the next one, you might want to clean your pruners off just to help to prevent any spread of any possible disease that would be within those. Clean them out nice bag of manure on the ground underneath those, some fresh mulch on top. You can use a regular fertilizer with them, a nice rose food. And it won't be long before you've got a nice healthy looking shrubs full of blossoms for you to enjoy all spring long. And I know a lot of the places, we're still cool. Well, this week it's going to be darn chilly in another day or so, but have a nice weekend probably coming up. Good time to start to get in there and clean out that old mulch. That helps to get rid of some of the weed seeds anyway. I mean, we might push fresh mulch down, but the birds carry seeds, bugs carry things. The lawnmower, the wind. If you happen to have a lawn company who mows your grass, they're blowing weed seed all over, whether or not it comes from your lawn and is moved or not. So it's a time to freshen up. And I like to take the old mulch out, especially if it's been in there a while. Take it out, throw it in the compost pile. It'll break down. And then put the fresh down, and that way you're not piling up so much around your stems that you then begin to cause the root rot issues and stem rots and other disease and pest issues. Move that out of there, you take it away. And it gets rid of it. You could even, or you could put it, say, on your fence line. You're trying to keep the weeds at bay. You don't maybe want to put it in your compost because it's too big a product. Put it on your fence line to keep the weeds off of there.
So I have another question about the Preen.
Yeah.
The one is called organic.
Right.
Does that mean the other two are more chemical? I don't understand.
They are chemical, right. The Preen Organic is made. The active ingredient is corn gluten.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yes, the corn gluten. The other two are the.
I got you now. Sorry, I made you repeat something you already said. It didn't sink in.
Okay, that's all right. But it is one. It is a little bit of a difference here between the two of them, even though the bottle's the same. The square footage is different. The Southern Weed Preventer is going to cover 1,120 square feet. Because that's all it is the preventer. Uh-huh. The other one, the Weed Preventer Plus Plant Food, is also going to do a fertilization at the same time.
And do you put plant food down?
With this one, I would not.
No.
Yeah, because it's going to offer it there. But if the other
does that mean no fertilizer?
For about 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fertilizer is food.
Right.
Okay.
Fertilizer is plant food, and adding organic items like compost or cow manure, things like that, mushroom compost. Those are not necessarily the same because they're not going to be a burning type of fertilizer. This isn't going to burn either unless you took and dumped that 900 square foot bottle on a 400 square foot area. Then you might have a problem, on those kind of things.
Those are 4 pounds each, about you? 4 pounds.
This one's 5.4. This is 4.75 pounds. 4 3/4. The other one was just at 5 pounds.
And where do you normally buy them? Like in
most of your big box stores. And I think some of the smaller. Lawn and garden centers.
Is this a good time to, even though you're not going to use them, is this a good time to buy your stuff?
It's a good time to get it and have it.
Not just this, but I mean all your other
stuff. I like to get the stuff and have it. That way when I'm going, oh, you know what? I don't have anything this day is going to be the perfect day to do it. I don't have to leave the house to go purchase my supplies. My supplies are already there.
Yeah.
If I know in advance I'm going to do it upcoming, I wouldn't want to store, 25 bags of mulch in my garage or carport for a month. But if I knew I was going to be doing it in a day or two, getting those in advance, this isn't going to go bad sitting on the shelf. Neither will your bag of fertilizer for for the landscape. And there's different ones of those out on the market. A lot of people like the really slow release products like the Dynamite, like the Osmocote. There might be another brand or two out there that are they look like little pearls, little prill is what they call them, and that they're a slow release fertilizer in which you normally apply them once, maybe only twice a year, because they will last that long, to give a consistent feeding so that you're not getting a bounce up and down on things like that. There's some other ones that are, again, that are to me, cost effective if you have a large landscape that are big bags of fertilizer with a 50% slow release nitrogen in them, to where it's compliant with the Florida laws, no phosphates in it, but it also contains micronutrients in there, so that you're getting a good all around feeding for the plants, not just NPK, not just a 666 fertilizer, which is real fast acting and goes away rather quickly also, but like I think there's 80, I know there's an 8010, there's probably another brand may have a 10012, the difference between those two is so minuscule it's not worth doing a real big comparison. But
is there an advantage for any reason at all why? Because every springtime, those little miniature greenhouses they sell in Walgreens?
Yeah.
It almost looks like a little stepladder.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Is there an advantage to getting that, or is that not even necessary?
Those are fun to have. They're a little fun hobby.
Every year I think I'm going to get one.
For starting little plants where you may start them out on the kitchen counter or the windowsill, but once they're up, they need more space than what your kitchen or window space has. So this gives you a place to set it out on the patio or the driveway where you got a nice amount of sun, but helps to keep them warm.
So we're up against the next break. Do you want to?
Sure. If anybody wants to call for another bottle, again, these are both for the landscape not for the vegetable garden.
And you can pick one or the other, so we can have two people this time. If it's ringing and ringing, just keep ringing, because I'm probably talking to the first person,
right?
And you just keep being the second person, and we'll get to you. We'll take that little break right now. Call 622-9622 and claim your bottle of Preen. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Clouds will limit sunshine today. It'll be breezy and warm with some showers and a thunderstorm around mainly this afternoon. The highs in the 70s. Periods of rain and a thunderstorm tonight. Lows dropping to the lower 40s in the northernmost part of the zone to 55 in the southernmost part. For tomorrow, clouds giving way to sunshine, breezy and much cooler. The high 59 to 63. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Where did you sit when the dust settled?
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall.
Where did you sit when the tempers flared?
And now it appears we may have a fist fight. Drivers and helmets.
Or when standing ovation took on a whole new meaning?
All the pit crews out on pit lane to salute Dale Earnhardt, who is...
Well, from where we sit, this Daytona 500 is the chance of a lifetime. Because this is your final opportunity to experience the great American race from some of the classic seats that have witnessed some of the most famous moments in racing history. And it's your first chance to say hello to the future in all new grandstands where fans will bear witness to all the legendary moments yet to come. So where will you sit this February 22nd? Don't miss your one and only chance to experience Daytona at a unique moment in history. The Daytona 500, Sunday, February 22nd. To guarantee your seats, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
NASCAR fans, it's time to get charged up with New Holland. As the official agricultural equipment sponsor of NASCAR, New Holland is giving race fans the opportunity of a lifetime by offering the chance to win tickets to the Daytona 500. Visit your participating New Holland dealer to receive a free portable phone charger to keep you charged up on race day, a special equipment offer, and the chance to win tickets to the season opening race of the Daytona 500. To enter, visit Ocala Tractor on 5841 North Highway 441, February 20th from 3 to 5. Offer good while supplies last.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking, will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Mark this Saturday, February 21st on your calendar because On Top of the World Communities is proud to present the Home Improvement Expo. From 9 until 1, representatives from every field of the home improvement industry will be on hand to display their services and answer your questions about the latest trends in the world of home improvement. We'll see you this Saturday at the Home Improvement Expo at the Circle Square Cultural Center, 8395 Southwest 80th Street in Ocala, or call 854-8707, extension 7533. This free event is sponsored by On Top of the World Communities.
All right, it's 12 minutes before 10 o'clock, and Carol Ann Baldwin is here. If you have a question, you want to call in, the number is 622-9622, and ask questions and get the supplies you need for your garden.
Get everything going. And, of course, I'm always mentioning the Master Gardener Spring Festival. I know the Lou Gardens Festival is coming up, too, as well as Kanapaha Gardens. Another thing that's coming up is a lot of the, and I don't know the schedule offhand. I know these are going on. The stores will be advertising them. So if you visit your local, whichever is your favorite garden center and such, they have the Meet the Vendor days. They have the Meet the Grower days and things like that, to where they have the suppliers that supply these stores with either their products, their plant material, things like that. And it's a good time to go ask a couple questions of, why is it I can't grow this, or why don't how would you use this product in my landscape, and things like that. That it's just if you go to those stores on a regular basis, they'll usually be putting out a flyer a few weeks in advance in the bags with your purchase to see, or they'll have them taped to the doors so that you know that these activities are coming up. Sometimes the Master Gardeners will be there depending on where you're at, whether or not you're here in Marion County. And I'm not sure if Marion County is participating this year. It's too bad if they're not. I hadn't seen, and I forgot to ask the right person whether or not they were this year. But there's different opportunity, and of course there is always that office during the week on that, and during the spring festival the gardens are open, the master gardeners are there. It's probably one of the largest time that you will find that many master gardeners in one location.
Yeah, right.
You'll find someone in a green shirt that can answer your question.
Is there like one question you get all the time, the same question over and over again?
There's certain questions during certain times of year that come in. Of course, during the first cold, it's usually about cold damage. This time of year, a lot of times it is on the citrus. How do I tell it's ripe? And the answer to that one is pick one and taste it. That's really the only thing you can do to find out. Again, this time of year, it's how or when do I get started on a vegetable or herb garden? When would I cut back perennials, which sometimes we get that in the fall or even right after the first cold spell. Can I cut my perennials back? The one after the first cold spell? No, wait till spring. We're coming into that time period now. If you wanted to get started on that, I'd probably wait till these 2 cold fronts come through. Just let that dead stuff protect what little bit of new growth is probably already trying to pop up through there. Give it a couple weeks, 1st of March, middle of March, or right around the corner. We've got, a week and a half left of February?
Yeah.
And so you've got 3.5 weeks till the Spring Festival. March the 15th is our last expected frost date for Marion County or Central Florida in our location. That 8B, 9A zone that we're in, and it will depend on where you are at in this county, because the one line starts at State Road 40 and it goes all the way down to Highway 50, which is Claremont?
Yeah,
somewhere down in that area. And then you've got your east and west sides, and if you happen to be by the river, one of the rivers, one of the lakes, things like that, you may have a microclimate of your own to base things on. But I do know right now, if you're driving around, the orange blossoms are beginning to come on, and that's one of the most fabulous smells that we can have. To me, they have not yet figured out how to bottle that scent, though. Because as soon as they do,
maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing.
I don't know, but I can't hug an orange tree when they're not blooming.
But see, my oranges are still on the tree. Should I get rid of them?
It is getting near that point.
I mean, they
that
look
if
pretty
you're
good.
getting down to the last few that are on the tree, I'd probably get them picked. They're not going to ripen any further off the tree
This is done. They're
than
done.
on the tree. Depending on, if you've been picking citrus since November, get them off the tree. Give that tree a chance to rest a little bit. They're getting ready to flush out new growth, new flowers. You're going to fertilize those here the 1st of March. I came up, and I used to go February, June, and September, and somebody says, why don't you make it 3-6-9? I says, well, that makes sense too. And then you got March, June, September. You're not that far of a difference off. It just might be a little easier to remember.
Yeah, maybe.
And using just a good citrus fertilizer on those. Azaleas are blooming now. Don't fertilize them yet. Wait till they're done blooming. You can fertilize them, cut them back. All that, on those kind of things. So we're still sitting in that limbo time. You've gotten your garden catalogs, you got your seed catalogs. Go online. There are, and I've meant to look those up. Now that I have the reminder, I'm going to make myself a note. There are a couple of apps out that I was going to check out.
Oh, really?
I think Bonnie's got one, but I had a little hard time trying to get it to load. So I'm going to check that one out again, that Bonnie Plants. And that there were some other ones that I believe were free that allowed you to track. To me, I don't want to pay for one that I can write down on a paper calendar.
right.
And I can do that on my my own. I can write it down.
Makes no sense. Yeah.
So, but you can take a look around for some of those. And if you use one, let us know which one. If you've tried one, if you love it, let us know about it. If you hate it, tell us why.
So what would you be using now that you didn't use 10 years ago? Are there things that you discarded and don't use anymore, or are you pretty much the same supplies and chemicals that you've always used?
With the influx of the like those 8010 type fertilizer with that 50% slow release nitrogen, I'll use that over, a 666 in the landscape any day. There's a great one for it's for lawns, or mostly marketed at lawns, but it can be used on shrubs also for in the summertime, that has no nitrogen at all in, and it's an iron application, but that also has the magnesium and manganese and things like that in it. Because I'm not one to go, Epsom salts has to go on everything. I think, again, that's one of those things. It's the where the bacon is the new jalapeno in the food world. Everything's better with bacon on it. Well, a few years ago, everything was better with jalapeno, and before that, it was with cheese.
Still with cheese.
Yeah, still with cheese, still with bacon, still with jalapeno. Mix the three of those together, and you can't go wrong.
Who cares about jambalaya when you have that?
When you have that, that's right. But I'm not one to go out and just buy Epsom salts or magnesium sulfate. Get a good fertilizer; they're going to contain it. I'm not a fan of liquid fertilizers. I think everybody's heard me say that. I always say, if you're going to buy liquid fertilizer, give me your money. I can spend it better. I may not, but
Because why? It doesn't work?
They work fine. They're fast acting, and the next time it rains, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
And I have seen people over-fertilize plants to where, yes, they will grow plants twice as big and not have a blossom or a fruit one on them, because it's not the proper breakdown. They're great for when you're initially putting in your young seedlings. I will say they have their place there, and they have their place in your house plants or your containerized plants, because you've got a controlled environment. In house plants and such like that, you still need to be careful using them, because if you don't water with plain water in between those feedings, you will kill your plants by over-fertilizing them, because it doesn't flush out on its own. And so, again, that comes with reading the directions on the packaging and remembering, or writing it down, or using your favorite calendar app or anything like that. But really, the only thing I think that's really changed for myself would be fertilizations.
Really?
That some of the new, with the microencapsulated abilities that they've come up with, the more slow release, where you don't need to feed as often. And the lack of nitrogen in some of them, adding more micronutrient instead. So those kind of things within it are my additives.
Do you have a go-to website that you go to all the time for gardening?
I was looking up plants using Floridata.
Is that .com? Floridata?
Yeah, Floridata.com. But anymore, if I just have a question, I'll just Google the plant name. Just Google it. Right. And then I will try to then use the University of Florida if they come up as a source.
If they agree
of information for it, I will go to them before I go to a commercial company on that, because I figure the research-based is going to be a lot less biased.
So I don't know if this is a dumb question, but when we have doctors on, they always say it's very risky to use advice from the internet, because you might get good, you might get bad.
Exactly.
Same thing with plants, or not necessarily?
It can be, yes, because again, I always our plant zone is different than California. We are not. We might have the same thing on a map, but it's a different climate. Our humidity, our temperatures, and things are at different times. And if you're going through the internet, that's why I go to the university first, or any university. If UF isn't showing up on a top list, but North Carolina is, or Georgia Tech has got something. Somebody, if it's university based, I'm going to figure there's a bit less bias than if I find Joe Schmo's nursery.
Joe Schmo.
Joe Schmo's, yeah.
No, Joe.
Yeah, Joe Schmo, and it, but those, that way, or this particular grower kind of thing.
So, we're out of time, Carol Ann.
We are. I hear the music.
There's
good music. Boy, that's a good song.
There's one more 4.5 pound bottle.
We got one more bottle. If somebody wants it, give us just shout, like right now.
Right now, 622-9622. This is the last one. It's weed preventer and plant food.
For your flower beds.
And how much square foot?
That's a 900 square foot
900
bottle.
square foot.
Good size.
Call right now if you want it. First come, first serve. Thank you, Carol Ann.
Thank you, Larry.
We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Stay warm.
Hey, you too.
And happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The South trying to deal with its worst storm in years.
I like snow, but ice, I don't like ice.
Cody Presnell near Atlanta, thousands without power in several states, up to a foot of snow and slick roads in Tennessee.
Mostly minor fender benders, but we've seen a lot of people spin out and run off the roadways.
Transportation manager Gary Darnell, some 1,300 flights canceled nationwide, a setback for the president's immigration plan.
Judge Andrew Hannon says a lawsuit filed by 26 states led by Texas should go forward. And without a preliminary injunction, states would suffer irreparable harm. The first of those orders protecting young immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children was set to begin tomorrow.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern, the White House will appeal. Fire still burning in West Virginia after a train hauling crude oil derailed yesterday. Up to 17 tanker cars and a house caught fire. Hundreds of homes evacuated, but no injuries. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful, but creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place.